Okay, we're live, I think. Is this capturing? Testing. I'm lagging so much. Okay, we're live, I think. Oh, there I am. Testing. There's a big... I don't know if that's going to be a problem. I didn't necessarily drop frames or anything. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen to today's stream in general, because we have a thunderstorm forecast. So everything might go to shit at some point. It is kind of cloudy, and that's all. It's not necessarily... It's not even raining right now, it's not even windy, but it might get bad at some point. Anyway. I don't know how far I'm not even... I don't even think I might finish this guy today. This is a maximum, yeah, subdivision right now. There's like a crease here. I don't know what it is. Kind of a weird bump in here. Down here too. And we move this back a little bit. Too much the new size. I don't know if that's much better. I don't know if this got too skinny here or it suddenly looks too skinny. Some of this got kind of wonky. Oh god, I turned off freaking symmetry. Again, I don't know what's gonna happen today. I'm not counting on finishing anything. Because I don't know if I'm gonna end up redoing some part or something. That might take a while. At least today I should have. And again, unless the freaking thunderstorm happens. But today I should have a normal, full-time stream. If we don't finish now, at least we're probably gonna try to give it some coloring. We're gonna try exporting to freaking keyshot just to see what it could look like. To give it maybe some temporary materials and I have hiccup now. What a great timing. When I don't... Sometimes I have this stupid idea of I'm about to go live and I show a fucking lollipop in my mouth. And now I have a hiccup. But at least I cannot be blamed for that. I like the idea. I'm not doing much even with this. This guy's just gonna be part of the montage, but I like the idea of some kind of the underwater part, the underwater scene. I might do a shot of Ergol just sort of diving into the water and just swimming down, and this guy showing up, coming up precisely kind of like this, coming from the darkness and showing up and getting this big and this close. And then Ergol is going to extract the orb, or however. I still haven't decided how the hell am I gonna do that with all the characters. I was thinking I don't want to do like anything individually. Do the scales, I might have to do some painting. That's gonna be bad enough of a pain. But I thought I might try to give it like an inverted crease like this to kind of enhance them. But it's gonna be a bit of a pain. I don't know if it's worth it. It's going to look free-handed like that. It's going to... It might be like the one thing that breaks the uniformity of the scales. In that sense, it could be worth it, but I feel like I don't feel right now like doing anything individually to every single scale. Again, I might have to do it when the time of poly painting comes. And that's gonna be bad enough. And that's gonna be enough of a finishing, hopefully. Some wonky thing here that I'm not liking. I don't know how to flatten this without... What did I click? if I should inflate this a little bit. Oh, a little bit. Just to match the size here. What if I inflate the... oh. If I inflate the scales a little bit. I don't know why there's like a wonky thing here that I don't like. I don't want to commit right now to doing that with the scales, especially I don't know. It's gonna work up here. No. It's the negative crease. It's like sticking out like a... I don't know if it shows much. I don't know if it's gonna do much for the scales. I don't know if I should do it like in a higher intensity. I thought I could maybe do something with an alpha or something, but it would be easier to apply. But now that some of these are kind of warped because of the perspective, an alpha is not going to be always applicable to this. What works for the round scales is not going to work for the warpy ones. It's a problem that I'm kind of lifting. I'm lifting this part too. But I think there could be something to be gained from doing this, but I'm still not sure. Maybe with a slightly smaller brush. And with this intensity. That's the problem. I don't want to mask. I don't have to mask out. Why the hell did the masking system change? I don't want to have to mask out every area here and have to clean and then apply the thing and then remove the mask. It's gonna be a pain. I don't even know if it's worth it. I don't know if I should separate the eye more. If there should be a crease here. Jesus Christ, that handheld circle. Kind of soft thing. Tends to look unfinished, but there is something about something that people do that's with like a flattened tool and some very sharp edges that it looks good to some extent, but also looks like something has been over sculpted, if that makes any sense. That's the problem. Yeah, this is... maybe it should be smaller. That's kind of a problem also, that it's wonky. It's not going to be a perfect circle ever. And that's kind of the thing that's gonna make it a bit more custom. Like every scale is like an individual thing, as opposed to this very uniform pattern that I applied. That's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna have to change the brushes to correct every single one. Change the brush size. There's something wonky here already. I don't know if I should correct that kind of thing in the next sort of pass. I don't know if I should do this in the highest resolution also. I wish this was like sculptures where each brush that you use retains its size and its intensity. Here's like that's the same for all of them, and you change back and forth, and it's a pain having to resize the brush every time I have to. That's kind of a problem. Here I'm pinching here, and I don't want that. The problem with this crease kind of brush, it's actually my own brush, because the original dam standard was too intense, so I made my own settings for this. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass, and it's not going to contribute much. I absolutely should refine all of this crap that I've done, but I don't know if there's a way. Ay, ay, ay. Why these look so different? I guess they weren't so overlapped with the others. Did I do these already? It's a problem, you do and redo and undo and go back, forth. I don't know if I should make them. I hate those wonky curves. This is the size I've been using. Maybe I should make them even smaller for the next row. Let's try it for a while. But I'm probably not gonna do this in the whole fish. This is hard to do with mouse also. I don't have a tablet or anything, so I'm doing this by hand with a stupid mouse. With the lazy mouse settings that kind of correct your bad pulse, but it's still not good. I don't know if I'd... well, I don't know the first thing anyway, but... I broke my hands when I broke both my wrists when I was 9, so... even my penmanship is very bad. That's probably one of the reasons why I don't like drawing, and I'm not comfortable drawing. They healed and everything. I can use my hands perfectly, but I still have the penmanship of a child, I feel like. I don't know if that's the reason why. I will never know what my penmanship would have been if that had not happened. But... and I'm not trying to use this as an excuse or anything, but... it is a thing that happened and that affected... maybe? I was 9, so I healed... well... supposedly. And quickly. But still, I don't know if one of the sort of side effects or permanent effects of that might be that. Might be this, I don't know. A lot of people have no injuries and have the terrible penmanship, and that's nothing to do with anything. But basically I don't know if for something like this a tablet would make a difference. I don't know what would I do when I finish this guy, if I'm gonna start a new one or what. Hey, how are you? You probably would what my wrist thing, what I was saying? I'm not sure, I wasn't even sure what was I saying. The tablet probably would be better. Yeah, between a tablet and a mouse, but I cannot afford a tablet. I have a very basic tablet, the touchpad ones, not the screen type ones. I never got used to it, and especially with ZBrush, I never got used to it. I know ZBrush has its own settings for tablets. I don't know if I even set it up correctly. I spent a lot of money on a very basic tablet that never really worked. Yeah, I'm not enough of an artist to make that kind of investment in something like that, but if I was a real artist, or if I was going to do it for a living or something, maybe it would make sense. But right now I'm working with a very old computer with a laptop that's falling apart. It's not like I can afford extra tools or anything. Well, a real artist sometimes, at least, I don't know, it would be someone that A, does art for a living, or this is so fucking wonky, or has some kind of education or something. I don't have any. I don't know what I'm doing. What I do is barely good enough for me and my little projects that nobody will see. I could never even try to charge for this shit. And some people have asked me, some people have wanted to buy my things, but most people have wanted them for free, really. I couldn't do this, like, for real. Still very wonky. God damn it. Well, fuck it. I'll maybe go back later and fix it, or just leave it like that. I don't even know how much of this guy we're gonna see. I don't really have any kind of experience or education in actual arts or anything. Well, I've had like history of arts and bullshit like that in film school, but I could never draw, I could never do anything, so in that sense I would never consider myself an artist. I'll just do some crap for myself. Precisely because I have that kind of craving of doing things that I'm not qualified to do. Yeah, people. There's also the fact that people who don't know how to do what I do think what I do is fine, but people who know, the real 3D bros out there, can't tell that I have no clue what I'm doing. They instantly see everything that I'm doing wrong and that kind of thing. So it's obviously like I'm not even in a lower league. I'm just some rando that's doing some shit that doesn't know how. I don't know if I should try to relax this. No, damn it. What happens if I try to relax this a little bit? Here. Is that gonna work? Are you gonna crash? Why is relaxing so intense? Yeah, nothing that I do I've done trying to impress anyone, and certainly I'm not going to impress like a professional or anything, but you know, when in the eyes of the people who really do for real the same thing that I'm doing, what I do is kind of shit. It's gotta mean something, and I get it. I'm not trying to pretend to be something I'm not, or anything. But people get mad at me. People tell me, "Oh, you do good things. You should value yourself more or something." And no, I'm not gonna delude myself. Just do these things because I enjoy them, but I know I'm not any good. It's as if I tried to draw, I would be even more mediocre at drawing. But if I enjoyed doing it, I'd keep doing it. Why is this really tight in here? No, I'm not fishing for sympathy or anything. When I say this kind of thing, I mean it, and I understand that. I appreciate when people are supportive and whatever, but it's not about that. It's the truth. In general, I'm not like an entitled person or like a... I would never brag about anything. It's just very much in my character to see my flaws and to show them and to not try to hide them. Anyone else might try to appear what they are not. I am the opposite. The first thing that I will tell anyone is, yeah, I kinda do some things, but I'm not this or that. Yeah, some people not about this specifically, but some people do tell me that it's a bit of a self-fulfilled prophecy, some things, but I don't know, I just don't... In a world that's full of people who think they are better than they really are and that they try to sell themselves as better than they are. In a world that's full of self-important, entitled people, I don't want to be one of those. I prefer to have no self-esteem and just... not try to aggrandize or embellish anything about myself. We were talking yesterday about well, not necessarily what we were saying here yesterday, but with someone else I was talking about politicians, and especially the local ones. There's people in like deputies and council members and people who have like no education, no nothing, and they are just greedy for politics, for positioning themselves somewhere. And it's something I wouldn't do in a million years. I don't feel qualified for that kind of thing. But I see so many people who are practically literate. And they are chasing government positions and stuff like that. And I have such a weird sense of responsibility that I don't even drive a car because I am a bad driver. And well, with my sensory issues, probably I shouldn't drive a car either. But these people barely have an education, and they want to run for mayor. They want to conquer the world, and it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? You cannot even run your house. Is this a correct size? No, this is too big. Too big. I applied these scales like shit. I don't know why I'm still committing to it, so I don't want to go back really though. If I give them some handmade detail, I feel like they're looking a little bit less uniform, and I don't even know. That's also why the word ambition is almost a nasty word to me. And I guess it's good to have some, but again, I see so much of that greed and entitlement and bullshit that But here I am, doing nothing, being absolutely no one, precisely because I have no ambitions, but in a way, I'd rather be this way. It's not like I have any big opportunities or anything. It's not like I'm turning down some major thing just because I have quote-unquote no self-esteem or anything. I'm just not pursuing anything of anything. Yeah, I guess, but I guess I'm also used to being rejected, and I'm used to being some kind of third-class citizen anyway, so it wouldn't even occur to me trying to insert myself anywhere when the one thing society has always told me is that I'm not wanted, that I'm not welcome, that I'm not a part. It's like, what game am I gonna play if I've always been shunned? But it's fine. I made it. Sometimes I make it sound like a big deal or something. I don't know. This is looking wonky as shit. Yeah, at least I do my own thing, and practically for my eyes only. And it's always a pleasant surprise if anybody gives a shit about anything I do. And it's I'm kind of used to the opposite, so. Fuck. At least now I'm happy to be a little bit motivated to do something again. It's been a while since I've done any of this shit. No, I don't think I even know who that is. Do I? Sounds familiar, but I don't think I know. Also wonky. Well, we're not even gonna see much. Even no, then no, I don't know then. It's very wonky. Okay. Thank you. I will bookmark that and check it out later. Yeah, probably. I don't know what he's on about, but the kind of self-help thing of course, he's an example if he overcame his own thing, but it's weird to apply, or it's rare to apply someone else's solutions to your life. I feel like, or to my life anyway. And people tell me that all the time. Oh, you have your four limbs and your five senses in place. What are you complaining about? Like that's all there is to life. I don't even have my five senses in place. That's even, apparently that's even what the government said. I didn't even... when my ear thing happened and I went deaf from my right ear and my sense of balance went to shit and everything, my mom did some research to see if I could like collect disability or something, and that's exactly what she was told. If he has his four limbs and his five senses, he doesn't qualify as disabled. And at the time I couldn't, in the beginning I couldn't even walk because I had vertigo 24/7. But she got told that. She didn't even tell me at the time, she told me like years after that she had done this kind of research. She had asked around and she had been told that. I don't necessarily consider myself disabled, but there's a lot of things I cannot do and I couldn't do in a workspace, so to speak. But of course this government thinks I'm fully able. I wouldn't want to collect disability or anything. Again, it was something that my mom researched in the beginning to see if it was something that could happen. What the hell am I looking for? This. Yeah, the fact that I was already a kind of societally kind of an outcast hasn't helped my so-called self-esteem. What the hell am I doing? This funky thing here and here. No, not really. I saw a movie version, but even that I don't remember right now. I couldn't be quizzed on it. I probably sound whiny, but I think I'm kind of stoic. To some extent, I don't even know. You can't be one thing the whole time. I hate silence, and for the purpose of stream, I'm never listening to anything myself. And the other day I was playing like a podcast or something, and I don't know if that's what caused for OBS to kind of crash. It had like a... I don't even remember what error message I got, but it was something to do with the encoding. It freaking crashed, so now I'm even more afraid to try to play something that I can actually hear. I feel like silence doesn't help me. Even when I'm talking, but I feel like I should be listening to something. This looks like shit. I wish I could learn some new things. At this point I feel like my brain is saturated with bullshit and I cannot even remember things that I used to know, things that I used to know how to make. It doesn't feel like I could learn something new. I'm gonna have to do some backgrounds and environments for this shit and I don't even know how. And it's gonna be a problem that I'm gonna have to address sooner or later. I'm probably gonna solve it however I can. Yeah, my brain is slipping completely into God knows what. That's why the one thing that I'm trying to do to exercise that thing a little bit is the softest thing that I could do, but it's something, I guess. It's better than nothing. It's stupid freaking Duolingo. It's like the one thing that's exercising my brain a little bit. Especially when the language center in my brain seems to be deteriorating so much. I don't know if I don't think I have anything, but any kind of early onset kind of thing. But shit, my brain was never great to begin with, and it's going to shit every day. And languages are a good thing. I was always kind of obtuse about learning a new language. I thought, well, not a new language. I'm not learning anything that's completely new to me, but I always thought it takes a lifetime to learn anything like that properly. It takes immersion. It takes a lot of things that I'm not gonna have, and it's very much use it or lose it. So I was always kind of reluctant to really try to learn anything, but now, at least for the sake of exercising the stupid brain a little bit, I'm doing it. Oh, it's getting colder there. Getting warmer here. Nice that you can do that. I don't have any kind of body of water anywhere near me. All I have is some filthy river that it's not even close to me. Well, then the river's filthy now. It was nice when I was growing up. Now it's green and murky and gross. It used to be so nice, full of fish. Everything's gone to shit. I was thinking, well, the whole year I've been thinking that I could use a break, and I've taken too many breaks that have done nothing positive really. But I keep thinking I could use like a more of a literal vacation, because I never took a complete break if I'm still here and exposed to the same thing, and with the same distractions and all. I wish I could go somewhere, but where the hell am I gonna go? And again, I don't know if it would have a great effect. Very few times in life I've gone like on a proper vacation, and I'm too poor for that. I'm more materialistic than that. I don't like spending money that I don't really have on something that's only going to become a memory, and its effect is so fleeting. Maybe I could use a break. I don't even know what exactly is what I need a break from. Because if it was streaming, I have taken breaks from streaming, and I don't know, they've been more counterproductive than not. The few viewers that I had are gone. Yeah, thinking would be great if I could turn off the fucking overthink machine. And I do, a lot of the time I do. I mean, I now that I'm rambling about shit, I'm obviously turning it on all the way and it's on full blast. But yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to appreciate that kind of thing, and the day-to-day thing. That, yeah, I do try to appreciate that. Especially with my mom. She's a certain age. She had a stroke last year. She's not gonna be with me forever. And she's fine. She didn't have like a massive one or a hemorrhagic one. But it was scary. It felt like it was the beginning of the end. Both her parents had strokes. Both her parents were left incapacitated after that. We got kind of lucky that only she had some freaky symptoms in the beginning. We didn't know what they were. We thought it could be like some early signs of dementia or something. And we were really relieved when we found out that's not what it was. When we did find out what it really was, it also felt like that, like the beginning of the end. Even if she's fine and she's medicated and she's whatever, she's not gonna last forever. And the end is nearer every second, which is such a cheerful thought, but yeah, that kind of thing. I try to enjoy what's left of normalcy. Yeah, I don't mind my dying. I've never lived much, and I've never been too fond of living. But when she leaves me alone, that's gonna be something. If we're lucky, quote unquote. If she's like her parents and she becomes a vegetable, that's not going to be great for either of us. So yeah, I try to appreciate the sunshines and the flowers and the dewdrops and whiskers and what the fuck is the lyrics of that shit? Oh, this is too big? Yeah. But in general, since I always had a shitty life that's only gotten shittier and shittier, more shitty. And everything's a struggle and nothing is really worth it. It's only more complications and more bullshit. Yeah, no. My mom herself had a very shitty life that only got shittier and shittier, so I don't have great expectations for anything. And again, sadly, I'm not entitled or ambitious or anything. I feel like those people prioritize themselves and shit around. They shit on everything and everyone, and they just climb positions and put themselves first and forward, and they advance in life. Losers like me do nothing, feel like are nothing, feel like deserve nothing, and get nothing. Is this making any sense or any difference? When I see like in a shiny material, I hate this freaking stretched scales here. I'm not gonna go back and try to reapply it. It's probably gonna look kind of the same. So many times I redo something trying to improve it and make it even worse. Anyway, this is a small character that's barely going to appear in this thing, so I feel like I've already spent too much on him. too long. Freaking silence. I really don't like it. It freaks me out being in silence. What do I do here? Where am I down here? I should. At least I've been trying to focus some creative stuff, even when I wasn't sculpting for a long time. But in October I tried some writing. I didn't really write. I didn't really develop anything, but I tried to write down all the ideas that I had. Ideas that I've had for years and some new ones. I did it almost as a daily challenge. It wasn't as organized, but I did it in October, like pretty much every day of October. Some days I didn't do anything, and other days I did like 2 or 3 things to kind of compensate. I ended up with, and I even did it the first days of November too, so I ended up with like 40 something ideas for short stories that I would like to do something with someday. I could maybe really write them and develop them, but I'm not really. Well, obviously I'm not a writer, but I mean I don't even aspire necessarily to be a writer. But the one kind of background that I have from film school is screenwriting. But my stupid mentality has always been, why am I gonna write a screenplay that's not gonna get made? Which is very stupid, it's very toxic, it's very bullshit. It would be such a... just kind of honing that skill would be a great thing, that it would be a good tool to have in your belt. And it doesn't take much. Writing, it's not easy, but it doesn't take any fancy, expensive materials or anything. It's like a kind of thing. I hypocritically, because I don't do it, but I always advise people to write. Everyone and anyone. Especially people who tell me all the time they have this or that idea. And I always tell them, write it, don't tell me, or do tell me, I mean if it helps you, but write it. And people don't have that kind of thing, so they don't listen. I tell my mom the whole time to write, but she doesn't write. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, absolutely. But I feel like I always felt in the same way I feel about drawing. Since I feel like I'm not gonna be good at it, why even try? And I'm not good at this and I'm trying, but I mean, I feel like I would be particularly bad at drawing. But also, the written thing, it's like its own thing. It is what it is, and it's all there is to it. It's like a drawing also. If it has no value as its own thing, what value does it have? But this 3D shit that I do, I can render in different ways and in different lights. I don't know. There's a plasticity here that I feel like other mediums don't give me. That's why I still do this stuff even where I'm mediocre, and other things I'm mediocre at I wouldn't even touch. But writing, again, it's something that can be cathartic, it can be creative even for not necessarily the average, not for the average person, for the non-necessarily creative person it can be a great outlet too. But again, I guess since I never had any kind of ambition, well, I never had an ambition of anything, but if I never really had an ambition of writing or becoming a writer or becoming even a screenwriter, it's something that I've always neglected. But I always had ideas. That's the kind of the problem, that I've always had ideas in the back of my head and in the back burner. I never did anything with them. So at least I now compiled a lot of them, and came up with a bunch of new ones. And they are there, at least in an archive, to maybe do something with them someday. Maybe add something to them at some point. Yeah, that's kind of what I did in October. Again, I didn't necessarily develop any of the ideas, but I tried to codify and compile them and even analyze a little bit each one. I wrote a little paragraph on what the themes were, what the treatment I could give them could be. In some cases I had some ideas for bits of dialogue. I wrote that down too. I wrote down everything that I could. Possible endings, possible shit on the themes and the tone and the whatever, and it was, that alone was already like a first approach, and it was very satisfying. I did it for a little bit of November too, so I ended up with 40 ideas. Some of them are a bit too much alike, and maybe if I did something about one, couldn't do others, but it ended up being a lot more than I thought I could compile. Again, some of them are some really old ones that I've been chewing on for years, and there's a lot of really new ones. Yeah, a little bit every once in a while beats not doing anything ever, I feel like. I like outlining, especially because that's like an easiest first approach for me. And very often I kind of know what I want to do, but a lot of the time I'm more sure of what I don't want to do, so all of that gives me like a frame of reference. And I need those kind of boundaries, and I find whatever I need within some kind of boundaries and some kind of frame. That kind of helps me. I don't know if that's exactly what I was taught or anything, but I feel that's kind of the way I operate. Very few times I sat down to write and it just, the actual thing poured out of me. I can't be like that with dialogue. When everything's already kind of established and I know what I need to do. I know the scene that I need, and but I don't just write, because yeah, I just don't have that kind of training or anything. Damn it. No, I've read some stuff on writing like prose, but in general, what I've read the most about is about screenwriting, because it really is, again, that was, once upon a time it felt like that was more like my calling, the audiovisual thing. I don't even know how I feel about Stephen King, to be honest. I don't even mind the horror, but the weird, creepy shit like the gangbang in It and that kind of thing makes me kind of icky. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about writing, and that's why I advise everyone to do it, because if it's something that doesn't require like materials or any specific knowledge, I mean it helps, obviously. But I feel like of all the arts and of all the things, I feel like writing is accessible. But again, a lot of the time I feel like, what the hell am I gonna write for if it's not gonna be read or seen or made or anything? And that's never my goal with anything that I do. Nothing that I do for clout or for engagement or for anything. So why do I care about writing being that? But I feel like it's so much of a dead end in a way. I can't even explain it. And the few times that I stop and do it, like when I wrote the screenplay for this thing, for Ergol, I enjoy it very much, but yeah, it's not something that I can just do. To indulge myself or to anything. I guess it's the same with a lot of other things that make me feel, that would make me, or things that make me feel good that I cannot force, because I have to already be kind of in the zone. It's not like I can do them to feel good when I feel bad. If I feel bad, I can do anything that I usually enjoy, and I'm not gonna enjoy it. But so maybe that's something that I get with writing too. It's something that in the rare occasion when I do it, it feels good, but I cannot force it. I cannot do it for the sake of doing it. Yeah, but that's the thing. Sometimes some people do need that kind of emotion, or it does fuel them, and to me it doesn't. I'm always living sad, but it doesn't help me. It doesn't motivate me. Not even to come out of it, because of, again, if I did something that usually makes me feel good, when I feel bad, it would have no effect, no positive effect. I might end up hating this good thing just because I'm doing it at the wrong time for the wrong reasons. It's so fucking complicated. Unnecessarily complicated. I wish I could, well, probably when I do write, I do write from the pain and the shit, but when I'm in the most pain, I cannot do anything. I cannot write, or, well, I never write in general, but I mean, I cannot do anything quote-unquote creative when I'm in the most pain. I wish I could use that kind of thing as fuel. I don't know what is about negative emotions that people can use them or they can I try sometimes. It's kind of my motto sometimes to yeah, not fuel, but you know what I mean. Sometimes some people use that kind of motivation either as the actual themes of what they do, or as they kind of, if they're angry, if they are. I feel like it's easier to do something with anger. I feel like anger is more of a, can be more of a drawing force than anything else. But it is some form of passion. But when I'm never necessarily angry again. I'm not an entitled or ambitious person. Who am I gonna be angry with than myself? So I'm not gonna be angry at society or someone in particular, as a lot of people are. Well, I'm not super happy with society, but I mean, I don't blame. I do blame it, but I don't resent it. Society is what it fucking is. But I just mean that some people are in their darkest hour, and they find that as a springboard of some sort. And it's like even the not even a creative act, but something more passive, like watching movies that I love, or playing games, or even listening to music. if I'm not in the zone, if I'm not feeling... If I'm feeling bad, I cannot use that kind of stuff to make myself feel good. So it's the same with the creative stuff. I cannot use it. I cannot force it or force myself to do something I like just to feel better. I have to already feel better, and that's such a huge problem. I cannot make myself feel better. I have to already be coming out of something to kind of be in the zone when I can do something good again. But it is what it is. I'm too old to change too radically anyway. I feel like my brain's already wired. I don't even know what I am or what I have, quote unquote. The older I get, the more I think I might have been when it mattered, and when in my formative years I did show signs of maybe some kind of neurodivergence or something, but of course it wasn't so fashionable back then, so it wouldn't have occurred to anyone. No, that I know. I mean, in terms of specifics, like quote unquote what's wrong with me, apart from the obvious, I think I am pretty self-aware. Cripplingly so. Not that a diagnostic of anything would change much, but might help understanding some shit. Time is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's such bullshit that just some brain chemistry can have such fucking effect. And also, all the fucked up external stimuli haven't helped ever. It's not just the chemistry, it's all the external shit as well. It's not like one of those people that have it all and they still have living sad just because of their brain. I did have a shit life, so that didn't help either. Yeah, I do feel a bit overwhelmed lately, and I don't know what should I kind of again take a break from. And I'm afraid that if I take a break from some generally good things, but that can be overwhelming at times, I'm afraid that if I take a break I'm never coming back, and I don't want to quit some things. Because I don't know if it's gonna be for the best. If when I take a break, I end up doing nothing. I end up wasting time, or it feels like I'm wasting time. Yeah, I'm not great with people. I feel like if I need a break from something, it is people. But yeah, changing scenery, anything might help, but I might never know because I don't even have many options. It's funny how that kind of thing, a lot of the time I hear people saying how something as simple, or as seemingly simple as that, really had such a great positive impact, like going to the gym or stuff like that. I don't think that would work for me necessarily, but I don't know what kind of quality time do I need with myself or something. That's why I sometimes think an actual vacation would help. Yeah, no, but I mean, especially going to a gym, it's... I don't know, it's complicated for me, again, because of my ear thing. As soon as my heart rate goes a bit too high, I get dizzy. I kind of do. I was never... I've always been kind of a wuss that has never been good at sports or anything. But especially after my ear thing, anything that's kind of high impact sends me to shit. I hate my body. I always have and always will. I don't feel like trying to do something with it and probably failing at everything, because again, I've never been athletic or anything. Probably gonna bring back all of the old shit about all the traumatic thing of growing up and being judged for that too, as if all the rest wasn't enough. So I don't know, but again, I would like to do at least something minimum, like we were saying, like going for a walk or something. But I don't really have like time. The other day we were just talking about that, and some guy that was walking at night because he was going to pick up his children from the neighbor's house, but they're kind of in a rural area, so he had to walk for a few streets. He was just hit by a car and abandoned there, and he ended up fucking dying. Again, not that that has to happen to me, but as I was saying that it's not safe to walk at night anymore, it's absolutely not safe, and this just happened. Yeah, that's what I say, and that's what a lot of people tell me. That's what a lot of depression denialist people tell me. Oh, you at least you're not in Afghanistan having your ass bombed every 2 seconds or something. And yeah, well, sure, of course, life would suck even more if that was the case, but is that supposed to be any kind of consolation for me? That's not how it works. What same things? This is taking forever. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference. Symmetry on? Bup, bup, bup. Yeah, but yeah, I'm still myself, and yeah, I make the same mistakes, and everything ends in the same place. I had so many first so-called opportunities for like fresh starts. I've gone to, even in my most fucked up years of being the most unhappy and desperate, I went to 3 different schools in 3 different towns, and I thought every time I could start over and maybe be different and be better or be God knows what, and I was always me, stuck with me, and nothing ever changed, nothing ever improved. So it's always the same shit. It's always me. Lucky, hey, how are you? I'm trying to do something with the freaking scales, but I don't know if it's worth it. There was supposed to be a big thunderstorm today. It might still be coming. It's kind of cloudy. It's not even windy or even rainy yet. But if it starts, I might go offline. I don't want to risk having anything of this stuff turned on in the middle of a thunderstorm. But so far, we're fine. I've spent so long doing this, I don't know if I'm gonna really finish him today, as I kept telling myself I was going to finish it in just 2 or 3 streams. I think it's already been 4 or 5. And I'm not even thinking of painting anything or doing anything. I thought I was going to be quicker with him because again it's a character that doesn't have any dialogue or a whole scene of its own. It's just gonna show in some kind of a montage. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to show really, but I wanted to give each scale one by one a little bit of a flair, because they were a bit flat, they were a bit bland, they were a bit too uniform, so I wanted to give them, to make them pop a little bit. I don't know if it's worth it, but I've been doing that all day today. And I think it makes a bit of a difference. We'll see how it renders, we'll see how it ends up looking. I think it already in this very basic kind of render, it's already given it a bit of a flair as opposed to this that I still haven't done. I wasn't really sure, but I wanted to try it. And it seems to be doing a little something. It's not very... it's kind of messy, it's kind of wonky here and there, but it's giving it a bit of a flair, a bit of an accent, a bit of a something that wasn't there before. I feel like I need some music or something. I am so weird with music. I love it so much and it's like oxygen. But when I'm not in the mood, I feel like I really don't enjoy it, and I almost kind of end up hating music that I love if I'm trying to make myself listen to it when I'm not in the mood. When I sculpt, I would like to listen to something, but I cannot play anything copyrighted and stuff, so I could play something that only I could hear, I guess. But the other day, I think that's exactly what caused for the weird encoder error that I had that ended the stream. The fact that I was playing stuff on the... and another instance of like the old Windows Media Player, the Media Player Classics, and since that opens the codecs as well, I think that's the one thing that I can think of, because it never happened to me before, and this time I was skipping through a video and the player was using the same codecs maybe as freaking OBS. I don't know if that was the thing, but that happened. Weird freaky error. Yeah, I don't know what is it about 3D. I enjoy it even when I'm not great at it. What the hell are we barking about? I don't know if you can hear her. I enjoy 3D. Or I've allowed myself to do some 3D even when I'm not great at it. You know, in a way that I wouldn't with other mediums. We were kind of talking about that. I don't enjoy drawing because I'm not good at it, but I'm not great at this either, and I do enjoy this. There's something about the plasticity of 3D, as I was saying also before, that I enjoy so much. If I had to do this kind of thing like in some analog medium like clay or something, I probably wouldn't know how either, and I wouldn't ever be happy. But the fact that, well, maybe with some clays you can do and redo and undo things, but the plasticity of 3D. Digital is such a good thing, which could be applied to drawing too. I mean, you draw in digital, you draw in different layers, you can redo things a million times. But still, I feel like I can't compare. It doesn't really give me what 3D gives me. I liked clay and like plastilin a lot as a child. But yeah, and I liked watercolors a lot. And I feel like, well, probably I was a child doing stuff with that. Probably none of that was great, but I used to like it very much. I used to like it. I guess there was no digital mediums like that when I was a child, so it had to be all analog. But right now I feel like I could never do like clay, watercolors, or any of that stuff that I used to do as a child. Watercolors are so unforgiving, right? Because you cannot really layer them, they're see-through, whatever you make, it's there for good. But I used to like watercolors so much as a child. And I tried to get into them as an adult, and I did buy some watercolors and some brushes and some stuff, but I never touched it. It's one of the few things that I actually tried to go back to. I never could. I feel like it's really unforgiving, watercolors of all things, as opposed to maybe oils, or that you can really layer them as much as you want, and you can play with the texture as well. But oils are so much more expensive. I've never really done oils. I almost did in an art class, and I ended up doing actually clay. I spent a whole year working on a clay thing that I never finished. Yeah, I never really did oils, but I feel like they could be more forgiving. You can overpaint, you can mix things. In the same art class that I ended up doing the clay thing, there were other students doing oils, and they repainted. That I felt like it was a bit too much. In the same way I spent the entire year working on this clay thing that I never finished. A lot of my classmates that were doing oils, they painted and repainted and overpainted the same thing so many times. A friend of mine was doing a painting of her own dog, and she overpainted it completely like 3 times throughout the year. And it wasn't even for the best. I think her first attempt was the better one, and she overpainted it completely. So that also, I have a weird policy about redoing things. I tend to think, unless I realize something very obvious that I can really improve on, I tend to feel like if I redo something, I'm probably going to make the same mistake again, which very often is the case. So I tend to not redo things because I end up overdoing them, and it doesn't really pay off. Yeah, I haven't taken like any actual classes. This was like art in high school, what I was talking about. That's why I keep saying I'm not an artist, because I don't have a proper background of art classes. Well, and a lot of artists are self-taught and whatnot, but I mean, it takes a foundation of some kind. A foundation that I don't have, but I never had the... I enjoy this, and it's my one form of expression, especially right now. But I never had necessarily any kind of ambition to become an artist. In fact, I was convinced that I was not good at it whatsoever, and this artist teacher kind of encouraged me to try to do something, I did some drawings during that class, and I did this one clay thing the whole year that I never finished. But by then I had given up on me being artistic in any capacity. And she really kind of revived that in me. I appreciated her very much. She passed away not long ago. At that point, and I still think I'm not an artist, but back then I was even more in that kind of mindset. And she somehow brought me out of that. I don't know why I'm very uncomfortable with things that I'm not good at. Most things that I'm not good at. Again, I'm not particularly great at this, but I do enjoy it. I wish I could have been homeschooled. Most of my suffering in my formative years came from being forced to be exposed to people. guess homeschooling is more of a thing in America. Here it's not a thing, and certainly not for the rich go to private schools, the poor go to the poor on the average, and the middle classes go to public schools. And that's it, nobody questions it. That is very wonky. That's your little revenge. So to speak. Here, nobody in my family is like any artistic at all, or anything, so I didn't get that from anyone in particular. Yeah, when my teacher, when this teacher kind of made me re-encounter the art side that I thought I had lost, or that I thought I never had. I was already kind of set on going to film school anyway, so that it's not like she changed me to go into like beautiful arts or anything, but yeah, she did have that kind of influence of yeah, at that point I thought it was a waste of time for me to try to draw or to try to do anything myself. I thought all I could do was write and direct, because I couldn't perform, I couldn't make any kind of beautiful thing on my own. I wanted to write and direct, and I ended up never writing. I'm not good with people as to direct or be in charge of anything. I cannot really do anything, and that's why I'm happy to be doing this thing that I'm doing now, because I could never make anything. Live action is expensive and complicated, and it takes a village of people. Animation was something that I could never do, but now I can do some kind of animatic thingy, and that's probably what I'm going to end up doing with this and these characters. And I couldn't before, only like 4 years ago I couldn't. This has become some kind of outlet that I always wanted to have but never could. Could this be bigger? I don't know what's that smell. It smells like something's burning. I hope nothing's on fire in the house. I don't know how smell travels so much. Sometimes, actually here in my room, feels like something is right here. It's not the case at all. What are we barking about? I don't want to go check. I hope it has nothing to do with the fire. I hope nothing is on fire. I should go check once. My neighbor set some trash on fire, and my vines crawl all the way up my wall and down theirs, and they got caught on fire. And it was like a huge fucking fire. Lucky we caught soon, or I should go check. I'll be right back. Back. I don't know what it was. The dog was just barking at something. I don't know what the smell was or where the fire is. The whole place is inundated by this smell of smoke. Okay, what the hell? Oh. We still have like an hour. A bit over an hour more to stream today. I don't know if this is capturing because every time I... Okay, yeah. Every time I change the scene sometimes. Freaking OBS has been giving me some shit lately. What am I looking for? I don't know if I should do something like that here. For this pins not to look like they are just clipping through the body, but to have like some kind of connection here. It's even sunny right now. We had this forecast of this huge storm. I guess there are clouds somewhere. Still. Right now, not happening here. There was a forecast even of hail. It can be so shit in this area. No? I think there was some hail elsewhere in the state last night, but maybe tonight we'll get some action here, because there was this very alarming forecast, and so far nothing's happening. Okay. It's so wonky. I have to make a couple more human characters that I've kind of been avoiding. I only made one of the humans for this story. And I'm not even too happy about them. I'm not sure what the humans should look like in this world, or in this thing, and again, it's gonna be dictated more by my limitations than any actual aesthetic choice that I make. But we'll see. I don't want to keep adding shit, but I thought of this character that... Well, I already had one in mind, but I suddenly changed it. I had an idea for this character, and I have a better idea now. And I really want to make it, but I feel like I keep adding shit, and I keep adding characters, and I keep adding dialogue, and it's gonna be too heavy, too exposition-y, too... Oh well, I'm kind of indulging myself with this. I'm kind of compensating for all the years that I've been wanting to do things and tell stories and do stuff and but I didn't. Or I couldn't, or I... Some bullshit wouldn't let me. Yeah, I don't want to be too self-indulgent, but... meh. Who else is watching? It already is a kind of thing that probably would work better in writing than on the screen. But it is a bit too dialogue heavy, it's a bit too exposition-y, it's a bit too... lacking in the visual department. Too much telling and not too much showing. Not too much, but well. It is show don't tell, but I'm telling too much. It's also kind of limited what I can do visually, so... But at least I'm excited about this new character that already kind of existed in the original thing, but I just had a kind of a better idea for it. And I'm kind of excited about it, and I might try to make it next. As opposed to other characters I was kind of intimidated by, and I have been avoiding them all this time. Probably not, or not that I know. This is a very tiny town. Yeah, maybe, but it's kind of doubtful. There might be something in the capital, but probably not here. Every now and then there's like someone from somewhere else that comes to give like a seminar or something, but I don't know if there's much of a local thing. Oh. Is that better? Oh. I always tell my mom she should write. She was a librarian, for fucking out loud. She already has that kind of thing in her mind, but she takes some notes occasionally, but that's not writing. I should take my own advice and write, but well, I did some kind of approach last October and it was a good thing, and it gave me... What the hell happened? What did I change? Pinch. I might, because it's like approachable. I don't want to say it's easy, because it's not easy, but it's easy writing. At least it's less demanding, it's less something. Doesn't require any weird, I don't even know. But maybe I should take one of all of these ideas that I've been compiling and just take it as far as I can. Really develop something. Yeah, probably. For me, I mean, I'm the entire day on my laptop here. I'm at the PC, but the rest of the day I spend in front of the laptop, so it's not like an alien thing for me. I'm already doing some other bullshit or wasting time. So actually writing shouldn't be like a whole other ritual that I'm not doing. I'm already like halfway there and I still don't do it. But yeah, I should friggin' write. Shit. What did I do here? I make this kind of wonky here. Yeah, expectations like that are kind of weird, especially in the last few years. I've been reading a lot of screenplays and like early drafts of things, and it's given me a whole new perspective of how sometimes a screenplay starts with shit. It's a literal turd, and they polish it and they polish it and they polish it, and it can become really good. There is some plasticity to writing too that I used to not see. Of course, I didn't think I had to sit down to write my magnum opus immediately, but I didn't see the actual plasticity of writing. And yeah, you do write and rewrite, overwrite, change scenes, move shit around. There is a plasticity there that I was not seeing and that I needed to see. And I finally sort of did see it, but it hasn't changed my prejudice about my writing too much. But yeah, I started seeing writing as something more malleable and yeah. That's what helped me more than anything, reading some screenplays and reading some early drafts. And thinking even of my own ideas and my first drafts and how things evolved from there. There's again exactly this plasticity that I was not seeing, that I assumed was a thing, but I had not seen it happening the way I did after I read some drafts and it's amazing how some things start with just some bullshit and they really do polish them. Scott Sigler's. No. What's that? Author of the God Project. No, I watched some, but again, since I... Okay, I will look it up. At some point I looked at some of the Sanderson kind of master classes and stuff like that, but again, since I'm not necessarily thinking of like writing a novel, I didn't pay that much attention, but yeah, I always enjoy people like that are that passionate and that good at their craft. I really enjoy hearing that kind of thing. But I haven't looked too much into that kind of thing because it's not like I want to be a novelist. Thank you, I'm bookmarking that for later. I do enjoy, it's one of the things that I enjoy the most. People like talented and driven and proficient talk about their craft. I really do enjoy that kind of thing. Even if I don't apply anything to my thing, but yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, but I watched some of the Sanderson stuff at some point, and it's one of the things that someone that I watch regularly is KM Wyland, and she talks about writing prose writing, but it's one of the things that gives me like kind of creative euphoria to hear people talk about the craft and the do's and the don'ts and that kind of thing. Yeah. It's just amazing. Any kind of creative person talking about their process and talking about their craft is just something I enjoy a lot. I guess I really like the making of things. Kind of thing I just enjoy a lot. As I enjoy the process itself, I enjoy people talking about their process. That's also part of, I think, what sometimes drives me to not finishing things. 'Cause it's like, what I enjoy is working on it. What am I gonna do with the finished thing? Post it on social media to have like 4 likes, and that's it. I don't sabotage myself trying to not finish things, but I feel like I don't have a lot of like motivation to actually finish anything. I also feel like to write I should read more. I feel like I don't have time or brains left to read. I used to read a lot more as a child and in my teens, but lately I'm just lazy and tired. I feel like I don't know enough about anything in order to write. I don't even know much about writing. Yeah. Scales look like shit. Okay. Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I'm not in that mental in that headspace is the fact that I don't read anymore. I have tried a bit, but I feel like I'm worse at paying attention to audio. I zone out and the thing keeps playing, and I'm even worse at that, I think. Or I fall asleep if I'm if I'm in bed. I fall asleep like a grandpa. I have so much trouble focusing. Better. Yeah, it's true. I cannot juggle too many things at once. And that's kind of the problem. In fact, I kind of feel like I can do like one thing in a day, and I feel like, okay, I did the one thing that I had to do today, so the day is made. Or the day is lost, or the day is this, or the day is that. And there's very little left of me to do a different thing. What time is it? Okay. I don't know if we should try, just for the fuck of it, to export this to... I'm probably gonna do some actual boy painting of some kind, but maybe for the fuck of it we can try to quickly export this to Keyshot. See what happens, to see what it looks like, to see what it... how the light hits it and shit like that. This is a very old version of Keyshot as well. They're like on 11 or something now. I remember I tried this one and then I tried 7 and I didn't like 7, so I went back to 6. I don't know what 11 or 12 is like now. I hope it's not gonna crash because it's a bit dense. Yes. There we go. It's gonna go to shit. Oh boy. Is this gonna be transferable? Oh my god. Yeah, don't care. Don't worry about that. I don't care about the materials. Oh, the material. Is this the materials from... It's not being able to load the materials from actual Keyshot. What the fuck is happening? Can I close this? How do I close this? It's such a long list that I cannot even see the OK button or something below. So how do I close this? Okay, this is gonna be a problem. Maybe I can... Where am I? Maybe I can try this with a lower resolution instead of full exporting like that. It might be... Is it gonna crash? It's still kind of importing. Maybe I should... Maybe I should just... Maybe I should try again. This not at the highest resolution. It's not even that high, but fuck it. That's the problem. It requires some resources now for Keyshot to... What the hell happened? Is it even... Oh, there you are. Okay, okay. Why do you have to take that much time in loading your own stupid materials, Keyshot? Oh god, there went the screen. Shit. Should I close? Why is ZBrush so heavy right now? Oh my god, is everything gonna crash? Oh fuck. Sorry. On top of this thing crashing, I remembered that I had some social media posts to make that I cannot make later. So here we are. Hopefully it won't crash again. On freaking keyshot to see how this is gonna look in a more realistic lighting, even when it doesn't have any textures or coloring yet. Where am I? What's one that I can use for the underwater kind of thing? I don't really have any environments for that, but anyway, it's not like I'm gonna go for like realism or anything. Should we switch to a color? What are the actual this one environment that I tend to use a lot. I had materials for like the crystals for other characters. I guess I cannot make them see-through because we're gonna see that the fin goes through. I made them kind of metallic or something before with some other character, some other guy. Probably that's not what I'm gonna use here, but let's try some kind of translucent material in the fins. Just to see what it could look like. That's too pink and too cute, maybe. To go for something less cute. Yeah, I kind of like that. The translucency is always like a good thing to go with. Do I have any... what is it called? Any of his materials with a kind of a curvature? This is probably too dark and this is probably not what I'm gonna use, but something that gives me a bit of an idea. Okay, that's too shiny, too translucent, and too fleshy. I wanted to try something metallic just to see how the shininess, how it went with the scales. Not necessarily that I'm gonna make it metallic, as I'm obviously not gonna make it chromed, but I want to see that kind of shininess. how it works with the light, with the shine of the scales. Not all gonna be the same shade, but I'm probably going to do some poly painting. It's not gonna be golden. It's not gonna be like a koi fish or something, but probably gonna be more murky, more like a catfish. Maybe even bluish. There's something, not blue and not metallic blue, but something kind of bluish greenish. The name that I gave it comes from an anime that I used to watch. I think it was already old when I watched it. And there was this catfish that was a villain. And he was kind of this petrol blue, greenish kind of color. I'm not gonna make it, again, I'm not gonna make it metallic like this, but I just want to give it some random material. Oh, I thought there was some see-through thing, but I guess it's the reflection on the metallic lip. Is that what it is? Yeah. I just want to preview the shapes and the stuff for this. What thing still doesn't have any material assigned? Oh, the eyes. The eyes, I don't know if I want to make them... Probably I will give him some kind of pupil. I don't want to make them like dark and dead like a freaking shark's, but for this test... maybe we can do something like a... I don't know if the scales are too bright. Again, I don't think it's gonna be blue. Maybe I can apply some kind of gradient. Again, this is just to see how the light reacts on the scales. That's why I have a shiny metallic thing is what I'd go for. Leave it to render for a little second to see again and to make some captures. From some angles. Did that capture? I'm gonna take a screenshot here on OBS 2. It's gonna be handy. Yeah, I only have like 15 more minutes to stream, so probably I shouldn't start poly painting today. But this will do as a test for today, for now. This red is too saturated for the test. Is this... Oh. Jesus. This lens... Yeah, it could be a bit wide. This looks a bit too straight here. Could be curvier. I should probably paint the inside of a mouth as well. I thought, well, depends on the actual environment and lighting that I end up using to do the actual renders, but I am used to, maybe it's also now here because this is kind of metallic, but I'm also used to not being able to see too much inside mouths, and sometimes I paint them kind of for no reason because it's in the shadows and you don't see much. But I can see, I don't even know if I'm gonna use an angle like this, but here I can see a lot. I feel like more than I was expecting. More than I thought I would be able to see. I guess it's like a big cavity, and the metallic blue thing is too visible here. Yeah, probably this guy's not gonna be this colorful, but and it's gonna be just have a bit of a bluish tint, more murky and earthy. But here, this should just help me to see the shapes, the scales, the way the light hits the scales and stuff like that is what I wanted to see in this test. Screenshot. One from above. Maybe. I hate the... maybe not above necessarily, but... I like this freaking translucent thing, but it takes so long to render sometimes. I feel like I very rarely do original characters, and what I've been doing for this project, it's already kind of written, except for some part that I need to rewrite. But yeah, this character is meant to appear for very little time, so it doesn't have much of a story. It's just more for the visual. I don't have much of a story for him in particular. Because again, he's gonna appear like briefly in a kind of a montage scene. It's not, doesn't have any dialogue like other of the characters that I've done for this. you write stories for your characters, or you just go for the visuals, or? Nice. For 2 characters. But do you write it for just for yourself to give you context, or you were going to publish the whole thing with the visuals, with the story, with everything? Why is this so wonky? Anyway, I already closed. I closed ZBrush for the sake of the freaking RAM. Oh, but that's cool that the 2 things sort of come together. That's like you're making real characters if you're considering you're giving them a backstory and all of that. Again, I very rarely. I think these are. I don't even remember in all these years. But yeah, the few original characters that I've done came from a story that I had already come up with before. It was like the necessity of a story made the characters, and not the other way around. But I could make. I always say that I should make. I never liked very much those kind of websites that give you a prompt, because sometimes it's too much of a word salad and it tells you to do mummy, ninja, fireman, librarian, that's something like that. It gives you that kind of weird prompt. But I always think that I should look for some kind of prompt to try do some character like that doesn't come from me or from anything. But I feel like I'm never satisfied with that kind of prompt, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think it could be a great exercise. Precisely because of it's the kind of thing that I don't necessarily ever do. I do the characters that my story needs, or I make my version of some characters that already exist, but I don't ever do like something like someone throws a prompt at me and say go do this. I think it could be a great exercise. But I haven't tried it so far. Anything that's like a lower light from the bottom, but not like this is a bit too flat, something like this, but from the bottom. That's why I like, not that I ever do much, I do my challenge and my April challenge that I just do pre-existent characters, and I did this one writing thing now. But that's why I kind of like challenges, because it's a good exercise to take a prompt. It's almost like it's probably the kind of thing you'd have to do for a job, and someone gives you just some liners, some pointers, and it's up to you to solve it. It's up to you to make it. And I've never done anything quite like that. I think it could be interesting. Why is this so shiny, so contrasty? I don't know what else to do today. That's why I keep just playing with the lights and the materials here. But how do I reset this? Is there anything? Oh. 100. Oh, it's 1. 1 1. What the hell was the default? I don't even know. I always tell myself when I'm gonna do something like that, I'm gonna pick up a random prompt, or I'm gonna do some character that I know nothing about. I have less saturated blue. Maybe greener. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid that's why I don't like that kind of word salad of a prompt, because I feel like I might end up overdoing something, which too much crap going on. Not that I ever do much with my characters. They always by default look kind of unfinished. But when the prompt is one of those things that's just an overlap of too many weird things, I feel like I'm gonna either do too many accessories or I'm going to combine too many weird things that just don't go together. It looks so different in my screen compared to how it's capturing on OBS. I don't even know if it's what kind of calibration I should make. I don't know which one is closer to be the true look of this. Maybe it's my monitor that's not right. Yeah. Can I... There with a much longer lens that flattens this disproportions. That is strange. Flattens the perspective. We'll see next time how I paint it, really, but it's not gonna be like that. But I wanted to have like a touch of bluish tint, maybe. It has like a bit of a green sheen as well here. Floating upside down. I kind of like it now that I see it here. I needed to see it in a kind of a realistic light, even with weird materials on, but gives me some perspective that I didn't really have before. Yeah. Yeah, I want to make a kind of a general pass of some kind of color, make the belly kind of lighter, then go through the scales again. And face, maybe make it a bit more uniform. I'm not sure what to do with the lips and the whiskers. They probably should be lighter, or tend to be lighter towards the tip. We'll try something tomorrow, no, Friday. Unless something happens, but that would be the plan. Nothing bad should happen, but something might make me change plans, but I think we should have a normal week, rest of a week for the streams. So on Friday I should decide what the final look and colors should be like. I like the really like you said, the kind of concave little thing about the fins. The scales that were too flat, and precisely this kind of metallic thing helps see it, helps to visualize it. What am I doing? Oh, let's capture this. I wish I could move it more, and I wish I could really animate it in like in actual 3D. but that's not really a thing that I can do, and it's not really the plan anyway. But I wish I could make him kind of swim in circles around Ergol, or something like that. Make it kind of a little bit scary, but anyway, it's meant to appear. It's meant to have like very little screen time to begin with. Okay, let's let this one render last, so I should get going. It's 5:30 here. Time's up. Yeah, it's a thing that I just cannot do, and I could never do. But this kind of animatic thing that I intend to do with this is kind of my little substitute for some proper animation. It's like the one thing that I can do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the rigging and the animating, it's a whole beast of its own that I cannot even touch, and that's why it's been kind of frustrating, because if I felt like, well, I can finally make characters, but I can't animate them. But I found this kind of intermediate thing that lets me rig the renders in 2D and have some little animation that I couldn't do before, and it's like the one thing that I can do that I'm not particularly good at either. It's because it's something I've done very little, but it's gonna be like the one way that's gonna let me tell my stories and do my characters and do my thing. So for now I'm kind of happy with that, and I'm hopeful for that. Because again, being a film school dropout, like telling stories and with my worlds and my characters is something that I always wanted to do but never could. And just a written thing, again, didn't feel like enough for me. Because I could have done maybe like some kind of illustrated book maybe with my characters made in 3D and everything else in text, but I'm an audiovisual guy. I always wanted to make like little movies, little short filmies, little thingies that I never could. And now this gives me a chance to do a little something. And we'll see how it comes out. The one thing that I want to do before the year is out is some actual tests. Now that I have so many characters, I finished like 10 characters already. So I want to render and rig some of those and make some little animation tests. The problem is I don't have any backgrounds, but that doesn't matter. But I want to make some kind of test, some put together like a teaser trailer or something. How big is this gonna be? Let's save it for the just in case. How big is the file? It's not insanely big. Look, I exported the body in not the full resolution, and it doesn't even show. It doesn't matter. Keyshot doesn't care, even if it's not. Because when I exported it the first time, it crashed. So I tried again in a lower definition and lower resolution, and it's fine. It's not like it's super detailed, it's just a bit more smooth. There was some weird squariness here, but it doesn't even show. Anyway, that is all the time that I have for today. Yeah, I had some idea, and I might still do something like that. If nothing, if what I was attempting doesn't really work, I might end up doing like a mixture of a visual thing, like half in text, half in visuals, half with some kind of narration. I might try it. I want to tell the story, not for the story too much itself, but I want to make this project happen. So probably I will in one way or another. Especially now that I'm working on so many characters. This is gonna be like the 11th character that I've done. So I will use him one way or another, even if the main idea doesn't work. But yeah. Anyway, that is all the time that I have for today. Thank you so much for coming, for watching, for lurking. I have been these VODs I've been uploading to my YouTube too, because I want to preserve them, because since I'm working on these characters. So thank you for watching. If for some reason you are watching the VOD in the very distant future, who knows what happened to me and what happened to this whole project. I speak from the past, and you live in the future. Anyway, thank you for coming, thank you for watching, thank you for hanging. I should be back on Friday, hopefully to finish this already. And who knows what will I do next. So, see you, thank you. Goodbye to the future, to the past. We're in the past now. We're in a preserved little chunk of the past, being seen in the future. So, thank you again, and see you next time. I have to make an outro thing. I only have the generic one that I made for the beginning. I have to make something for the art streams. Where are we? I have like an outro, but I don't have like anything specific for the art streams. I have like a generic thing that I did in the beginning. But yeah. I have one for Minecraft, because sometimes I play Minecraft. I have one for when I did Jurassic June in June. I played Jurassic Park games. And I have an outro for that, and I don't have an outro for the art streams. So that's it. Anyway, one last capture, one last screenshot of this. Screenshot this one too. And here we go.